Teresa Giudice shades RHONJ co-stars amid reboot fears. You come for Teresa, you get a storyline. The Real Housewives of New Jersey has been in limbo for months, but Teresa Giudice isn't done insulting her co-stars. As the sole original cast member on the show, Teresa has been front and center for over 15 years. As a result, many have conceded that she will be back for RHONJ Season 15. And there's a good chance that most of the Season 14 ladies won't be as fortunate. In a recent appearance on Vanderpump Rules, alum Lala Kent's Give Them Lala podcast, no topic regarding the show's future was off the table. The 52-year-old told the former Assurver that RHONJ is on pause because the show couldn't continue the way it was going. It's not news that a mass cast divide forever changed the show's dynamic during Season 14, forcing producers to film the cast as two sides. RHONJ Season 15 could feature a whole new cast. There was also a lot of violence that got cast members suspended from filming, so it makes sense that Bravo and producers would be interested in taking the show in a different direction. Looking back, Teresa believes her castmates played the game all wrong. It's gotten really dirty and disgusting. Look, I'm sure they're kicking themselves for what they did, she added before name-dropping Margaret Joseph, who went from her friend to one of her biggest enemies. Teresa has also had on-screen issues with her brother, Joe Gorga, and his wife, Melissa, which resulted in her cutting off all communication with them. Despite the high drama, Teresa said she's at peace now without them in my life. Teresa doesn't believe that forgiveness is on the table because there's no coming back when your own family *** kiss you so hard. I didn't think my brother would do what he did to me, the Bravo concluded. Teresa claimed that her castmates target her because they're searching for a storyline. When you come for Teresa, you get a storyline, she told Lala. When RHONJ Season 14 concluded earlier this year with a cast brawl at Rails Steakhouse, it was obvious that the show would be headed in a new direction. The big question is who the series will follow because there's also a chance that no current cast members will be asked back. Bravo has rebooted many shows. The Real Housewives of New York famously fired its entire cast 2 years ago. Vanderpump Rules did the same thing earlier this year, so executives are willing to shake up shows from the ground up, which doesn't bode well for the current RHONJ ladies. Teresa has moved on with a widely praised appearance on House of Villains Season 2, which showcased that she has things going on away from the show. Teresa Giudice sat back on her plush cream couch in her sprawling Montville mansion, sipping a cappuccino from her custom-made, Namaste B**touches mug. The tension was palpable, even within the confines of her meticulously decorated living room. She wasn't just the queen of the table flip anymore. She was the reigning monarch of the Real Housewives of New Jersey. But with whispers of a looming cast shakeup, Teresa was ready to defend her throne. The Bravo cameras were already rolling, capturing every flick of her expertly manicured hand and the subtle arch of her brow. Teresa leaned forward, placing the mug down on her glass coffee table with a deliberate clink. She had something to say, and she wasn't holding back. You know what, Louis? She began, her voice laced with that familiar Jersey edge, as she addressed her husband. I've been on this show since day one. People come and go, but I'm Teresa Giudice. They think they can reboot my show. Good luck with that. Louis nodded in silent agreement, his usual zen demeanor intact. You've carried this franchise, babe. No one can take that away from you. Teresa's eyes sparkled with a mix of pride and defiance. She turned to the camera crew. Let me tell you something, she said, pointing a perfectly polished nail at the lens. These girls, they think coming for me is the way to stay relevant. You come for Teresa, you get a storyline. That's how it's always been. The Giudice shade-a-thon gained momentum the next day during a lunch meeting with her lawyer-turned-bestie, Dina Manzo. The two hadn't been seen on screen together in years, but the rumors of an impending reboot had coaxed Dina out of her California sanctuary. "Reboots are tricky," Dina said, twirling her fork through a plate of organic kale pasta. "They either flop or they reinvigorate everything. But let's be honest, True, RHONJ is you." Teresa smirked. "Exactly. And you know what's funny, Dina? Some of these girls think they can take over. Like, let's talk about Melissa. She's been trying to dethrone me for years. Newsflash. If it weren't for me, no one would even know who she is." Dina chuckled, sipping her sparkling water. "Well, at least she keeps things interesting." "Interesting?" Teresa raised a brow. "Please. The only thing interesting about Melissa is her ability to play victim every time I call her out. And don't even get me started on Margaret." Dina's eyes widened slightly. "Oh, this is gonna be good." Teresa leaned in conspiratorially, her voice dropping to a dramatic whisper. "Margaret is always stirring the pot. Always. But the second someone calls her out, she acts like she's being attacked. I mean, come on, Dina. Do these people think viewers don't see through their fake friendships and alliances?" Later that week, Bravo producers summoned the entire cast for a family meeting to address the reboot rumors. The venue was none other than a gaudy banquet hall, complete with chandeliers and gold-plated accents, peak Jersey style. As Teresa arrived, her presence was commanding. Dressed in a sleek, tailored jumpsuit that screamed boss energy, she breezed past her co-stars with barely a glance. Melissa Gorga, already seated at the long, opulent table, muttered under her breath, "Here we go. Queen Teresa graces us with her presence." Teresa caught it and stopped in her tracks. "What was that, Melissa?" she asked, her tone dripping with fox politeness. "Nothing," Melissa replied, flashing a tight-lipped smile. "That's what I thought," Teresa said, taking her seat at the head of the table. The room was thick with unspoken tension as the women waited for the producers to speak. Finally, Andy Cohen's familiar voice boomed from a speakerphone in the center of the table. "Hey, ladies." Andy greeted, his usual cheerful tone slightly tempered by the seriousness of the matter at hand. "I know you've all heard the rumors, so let's address them head-on. Bravo is considering a soft reboot of RHONJ. That doesn't mean anyone's being let go yet, but we are looking for fresh dynamics." The room erupted into a cacophony of voices. "Fresh dynamics?" Margaret Joseph interjected, her perfectly coiffed hair bobbing as she gestured wildly. "What does that even mean?" "It means," Teresa said, her voice cutting through the noise, "some of you better step up your game. This isn't just about showing up to film, it's about being real. And let's be honest, some of you haven't been real in years." Melissa shot her a venomous glare. "Oh, please, Teresa. If we're talking about being real, maybe you should look in the mirror. You act like you're untouchable, but guess what? No one is." Teresa laughed, a sharp, humorless sound. "Cute Melissa, really. But let's not forget who put this show on the map. Without me, there's no RHONJ. Period." "Without the drama you bring, you mean," Margaret chimed in. "And don't pretend like you don't love it. You thrive on chaos." "Maybe I do," Teresa admitted, her tone unapologetic. "But at least I'm not hiding behind fake friendships or alliances. I say what I feel, and that's why people love me. The fans know I'm real." As the meeting wrapped up, Teresa couldn't resist one final dig. Standing, she addressed the group with a smile that didn't quite reach her eyes. "Good luck with the reboot, ladies. But remember, you come for Teresa, you get a storyline. And trust me, I have plenty more stories to tell. As she walked out, her heels clicking against the marble floor, Teresa felt a surge of satisfaction. The rumors, the drama, the shade, it all came with the territory. She wasn't just a cast member, she was the heartbeat of RHONJ. And no reboot, no rival, and certainly no Melissa Gorga was going to change that. Back home, Teresa curled up on her couch with Louie and her daughters, who were as fiercely loyal as their mother. Gia, always the voice of reason, chimed in. "Mom, don't stress about the reboot stuff. You're Teresa Giudice. They can't touch you." Teresa smiled, ruffling Gia's hair. "Thanks, baby. But you know me, I don't just sit back and let things happen. If they want to reboot the show, fine. But they better remember who's the queen." As the cameras captured this final, quiet moment, Teresa's voiceover played. "In Jersey, you don't get to the top without a fight. And trust me, I'm ready for whatever comes next." With that, Teresa Giudice proved once again that she wasn't just a housewife, she was a legend.